What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to give you our draft profile and analysis for Arkansas wide receiver Treylon Burks. All that and much more coming your way right now! All right, Nick, as we get closer and closer to April's NFL draft, we have yet another draft profile to get to. Today, we're going to be talking about Arkansas wide receiver Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks is just an absolutely explosive wide receiver who shows up in every single statistical category all across the board. This guy really showed up last season. When you take a look at Treylon Burks, he stands at 6'2", 225 pounds. He is PFF's ranked number 5 wide receiver in this draft class, a very deep wide receiver draft class at that. His pro comp for me is A.J. Brown. He has a lot of the same traits we see from A.J. Brown, a little faster and a little more wiggle. I love Treylon Burks. I think he could possibly be the best wide receiver in this draft class when it's all said and done. When you take a look at his career stats, he played 3 years at the University of Arkansas, 32 games, 146 receptions, 2,399 yards, 18 touchdowns, and he was the 2021 Biletnikoff Award winner for the best wide receiver in college football. He was also first team All-SEC. This guy was just a phenomenal talent all year long and really showed out in college football's best conference.
Now, taking a look at his strengths, as you see by his size, he's got a great size to speed combination. He didn't really show that at the combine, but go take a look at the tape. This guy was getting insane separation, and for a guy his size, it just didn't make much sense. He has such natural ability at the wide receiver position that he is going to be a difference maker. He is going to be an A.J. Brown, a DK Metcalf, a Julio Jones. That's what his comparisons are, and they are that for a reason. He was the Biletnikoff Award winner for a reason. Teams are starting to look at those combine stats and putting a lot more weight into them than they actually should be. But he's got some of the best hands in this draft, and he's got such ability to separate that it's going to be very difficult for him to be matched up one-on-one in man coverage and for a corner to stick with him the entire way. His natural ability to play the position is something that is going to be very hard to stop. But taking a look at his weaknesses, he does have a couple. He does struggle to use his body to box out. He's got a big frame. He may only be 6'2", but he plays with a much bigger frame, and he just needs to learn to use his frame to his advantage and stop trying to let corners fight him for the football. He's got to take advantage, use his body position to really assert himself in those situations. And then he also is a little shaky coming in and out of his breaks. He's got to work on the route running. It's not as pristine as you would like it to be, but his natural ability takes him the rest of the way. And if you put him with the right team who knows this body type, they are going to make him excel even further than he did in college. The sky would be the limit for Treylon Burks.
One of the best things about Treylon Burks is that when he is running on the football field, it doesn't look like he's running. It looks like he's gliding, and that's exactly what you want to see from your wide receivers. This guy just has a natural ability to run, find the ball, catch it with his hands, using it away from the body. This guy just has a few things to work on, but what rookie doesn't? And when you take a look at teams that need a pro-ready wide receiver to really be competitive, we start off with teams like the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns obviously making that massive trade for Amari Cooper, then releasing Jarvis Landry. Treylon Burks is a much better version of Jarvis Landry. He's extremely well-versed of going over the middle. He does a lot of the underneath routes. He is going to be the perfect complement to an Amari Cooper type wide receiver. I expect Treylon Burks to be able to do everything at all 3 levels of the football field and allowing other receivers like Amari Cooper to do their thing as well.
Another potential team for Treylon Burks is the Philadelphia Eagles. They're on a lot of these wide receiver draft profiles, but that's because they are going to be investing in one of them. And why not Treylon Burks? With his size and speed opposite Devonta Smith, good luck to any secondary trying to stop those two. It'd be very difficult, and we saw the Eagles' run game be really heavy last season. They need to mix in more of the pass game, and they could do that very easily if they were to add Treylon Burks.
Another team that's definitely in the wide receiving market would be the New England Patriots. The Patriots are looking to get that bad taste out of their mouth from selecting N'Keal Harry instead of A.J. Brown. Now you get a second opportunity at the same type of player. Treylon Burks would fit this offense extremely well, specifically with Mac Jones at the helm. Kendrick Bourne and Jacoby Myers are proven entities. They need a bona fide number one wide receiver. Treylon Burks can do just that with Hunter Henry at the tight end position, Jonnu Smith available, and the plethora of running backs that the Patriots have. Treylon Burks would fit perfectly in this offensive scheme.
And last but not least, the Green Bay Packers. There is a lot of questions around whether Davante Adams will actually be playing for the Green Bay Packers next season. And Aaron Rodgers getting that 3-year massive contract, he's got to have a weapon that he can rely on while he finishes out his career in Green Bay. Treylon Burks is the body type that fits the Green Bay Packers. They love those long, big, rangy receivers who can go deep downfield. Treylon Burks checks off every box the Green Bay Packers look for in a wide receiver, and he would be absolutely perfect with Aaron Rodgers.
But it's all said and done. Treylon Burks is by far and away, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in this draft class. I understand that there's bigger names. People are enamored with the size of Drake London, the speed of Jamison Williams and John Mechie. They love Garrett Wilson's versatility. But when you take a look at a pro-ready wide receiver, somebody who's going to be able to take over a game with all aspects of their abilities, I see Treylon Burks. This man is exactly what NFL teams are looking for in a wide receiver, and they just convince themselves of other things that really don't mean anything. Nick, you know as well as pretty much anybody else that I do not put any stock into the combine whatsoever. I think it's a show for the fans only, and I basically call it the underwear Olympics because that's essentially what it is. I don't care what those times have to say. If one of these teams at the back end of the first round get Treylon Burks because he fell because of his combine numbers, then they're just going to be licking their chops because that's the only reason this guy should be falling. All right, well, I want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of Treylon Burks, who your pro comp is for him, and where you expect to see him get drafted. All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.